It's the Brad and John Show.
John, how'd you like that for commercial break?
I absolutely loved it. And it made me want to break out and say, stay cool, keeps us cool when you're hot and hot when it's not.
What?
I'm a big fan yesterday. I heard your threesome commercial, Brad.
My threesome commercial, which is the threesome
Yeah, it's
commercial.
the one where you're talking to two AI people. It's very suggestive. Like, it seems like a police officer was doing some sort of role play with you and a lady friend in a car. And, you know, the suspense was there. I don't want to give away the outcome for folks who haven't heard it, but there was a lot of suspense. Will Brad get a ticket? Will he not get a ticket? And I love the fact that you had this cosplay thing with a man and a woman, Brad. It's not my thing. Like, I don't want another man around, but I love that you're into that.
John is
stay cool, keeps us cool when you're hot and hot when it's not.
John is referring to my new commercial for the perfect traffic stop. And ironically,
it's time for Brad's Top 3.
Because the reason that John did that is because he has ESP. Nobody talks about that anymore. Remember ESP, extrasensory perception?
Yeah, that was a gimmick in like the 80s. And then eventually it just transferred into ESPN.
Right. So we start off with...
It's number 3.
Okay. Once again. Oh, I was going to give 25% once again's less. Hold on a minute.
It's a 25% off once again.
Have to clear my voice. If you look on a lot of the web pages, you will see a picture and or a video of a ICE officer or some kind of a federal officer yanking a woman out of her car. Have you seen this, John? This happened, I think, yesterday.
I have seen this. Yeah, Brad. Where was this?
This was in Minneapolis, and this was a protester who was trying to block ICE vehicles. You would think that after that woman got shot and killed that you would think twice about blocking ICE vehicles with your car. And I am going to make this offer right now. I'm going to go in. I'm going to change my perfect traffic stop to, well, now I'm going to do this. If you just use the code BRAD10, it will be free. So if you go in and buy the perfect traffic stop course, and because of the fact that you would think that people would wise up to when a police officer asks you to do something when you're in your vehicle and you don't pay attention to them, bad things may happen, John. You know what I'm saying?
I do, but hold on. Before you get to your point, maybe if you're an activist or a content creator, you see what happened to this woman, whatever her name was, and you see what happened to Kamikaze Karen, and you think, okay, the cops are and ICE is even more on edge. They don't want another shooting. I can push the envelope a little bit further and become a social media hero.
Man, that's playing with fire. I have to tell you. And you know, the crazy thing about this is that I guess it's because of my background, me working, the 3 years.
Did you ever work as a police dispatcher, Brad?
I did. The 3 years I worked as a police dispatcher, that gave me so much insight into, one, psychology. You know, even though I was not a psychology major when I was going to college and working nights as a police dispatcher, but just human interaction. I just don't understand. It's like you see these videos. There's another great video. I don't know if you've seen this one. There's a great video of, I don't know where this protest is, but there's a guy who is apparently, there's a bunch of people protesting, and he's like a minority, and they're protesting that, and he shows up with an American flag. Have you seen this one, John?
I don't think so. Tell me about it.
Oh, my God. He shows up, and he's waving his American flag, and he's wading in. Well, he's not even wading in. He's on, like, the outskirts of this crowd, and they're protesting something. And he's like the American guy. He's protesting against what they're protesting. And some guy with a megaphone, and some of those megaphones, you can hit a button and make a siren sound, you know what I mean? Like that.
Yeah.
He takes the megaphone, and he chases the guy with the American flag, and he sticks it right up to his ear, which, quite honestly, can cause hearing damage. And the guy with the American flag, an older gentleman, looks like he's in 45 or 50 years old. He starts to try to evade this guy, and he's running away from him, and the guy just won't give up. And he's chasing him around. He's poking him with this megaphone, trying to stick it in his face, trying to put it in his ear, and he's got this big American flag. The guy who is like being chased and being harassed by this guy with the megaphone, he's being chased around, and he goes out in the street, and he's like, at one point, he says, okay, I've had enough. And he bends over, and he lands a wicked left hook into this guy's head, and boom! boingo, the guy goes down like a sack of potatoes. Okay, and then a bunch of other people go, well, we're not going to let that happen. So they all go over and try to take this guy on. He knocks out like 3 of them. I mean, they're, and one is some woman who runs up to him, and she's trying to attack him. And I'm telling you, it's the most amazing shot. He hits her right in the head, and she just she's out. She just falls, collapses on the ground. And then the video ends after he decks 4 people. Now, the problem with that is he'll probably get arrested because, he was the one that was being provoked. He was the one who was being assaulted, but yet that didn't happen. Once again, you think people would listen, but they don't. You know what I mean? And the problem with this whole situation is these people, it's just, God, I just don't understand this. And the crazy thing about this is the government is trying to enforce the law. These people, let's be honest, the people who came across the border are illegal immigrants, right? They broke the law when they crossed the border, okay? If you break the law, John, if you make a left turn where the sign says no left turn, you've broken the law and you suffer the consequences, right?
I do. First of all, I say that I just read an article about New Jersey jugs, and I point out that I can make a left on red. And Brad, I would just point to a sign at every Democrat protest, which is no human is illegal on stolen land. I think you need to take a trip to Cahokia Mounds. By the way, the Illinois state government should do more to keep public grounds and mounds and parks. That would improve their budget situation. But you need to go to Cahokia Mounds and learn that no person is illegal on stolen land.
Okay, in C Block, it's funny you should mention that. In C Block, remind me to talk about Georgetown University, okay?
Okay, we'll talk about the Hoyas.
That'll be the first thing we talk about. In Georgetown, they're in Washington, D.C., correct? Isn't that where Georgetown is?
They are. And I hear on campus they're clamoring for, it's time for Brad's number 2.
It is. They're clamoring for it.
It's time for Brad's number 2. It's time for Brad's number 2.
An excellent article on STLPR, John. And I know you've probably already seen this. Have you seen the story on STLPR about the monkeys?
No, Brad, but I didn't read it. I did see it, and from the headline, they're following up on what you said on this show yesterday about AI. Tell us about it, Brad.
Right. They're complaining that at least they're crying. See, I don't understand this. There's 2 things about the monkey thing, which, by the way, some of the best damn memes. I took some guy's meme and put it on my page, and I gave him credit because his name's on the top of the thing. It's 3 monkeys sitting in front of the arch eating Emo's pizza. They're wearing St. Louis Cardinal uniforms. So, okay. So the St. Louis Public Radio thing is talking about the fact that, they haven't found the monkeys yet. And one of the problems is the officials are getting all these false reports by monkeys being AI, and I don't even know if you call it Photoshop anymore, but they're being AI'd into various places. They show them here, they show them there, they show them running around in front of the arch and stuff like that. I'm thinking to myself, John, why do we have these people working for the city of St. Louis who can't figure out what is AI and what's not AI? I mean,
I think that's a great point.
I mean,
and I don't know why anyone sees like obviously something with them like eating Emo's pizza is going to be fake, but I don't know why if you're working anywhere and you see an image of monkeys and you know that there's a popular meme going around,
right.
I don't know why you would fall for any image.
Yes. I mean, and here's the article by let me read it, by Sarah Fenton. Fenton, is that her name?
Fenton, yeah.
Fenton.
She covers a lot of like health issues.
Okay. Let me read. Health officials said, complicating the investigation is the public's use of AI-generated images, Hauser said. The story of the exotic primates running loose in St. Louis has caught the attention of people across the country and beyond. And here's a quote from Mr. Hauser. He's the guy with the St. Louis City Health Department. We did receive a tremendous amount of information from the community, but it was a challenge verifying the authenticity. City workers have had to sift through fake pictures submitted by the public. He says, we are aware that alleged sightings and videos have been shared through social media, he said. However, these posts cannot be verified and are not used to conduct any enforcement action. Many unverified or AI-generated posts have contributed to confusion about whether animals are still loose. Come on. Is that like a crappy is that like some lazy government answer? We can't figure out which. And the problem with that is if someone sends you a still picture of a monkey on top of a car in Tower Grove Park, by the time the city gets it, do you think the monkey's still going to be sitting on top of the car in Tower Grove Park? You know what I'm saying, John?
Absolutely not. Like after dark, even monkeys leave Tower Grove.
Right. It's not safe for even monkeys.
I think that the city would be better off and be more direct by just saying, stop making monkey memes.
Well, yeah, and you know what that does? That'll increase the number of monkey memes.
Yeah, exactly.
People go like, we need more monkey memes.
The end effect of monkey memes.
Right, okay. And here's the other thing. In the news reports, they keep saying, and if you turn in a monkey, you won't be charged. I'm going, okay, that's like if I catch a bank robber, if the guy's coming out of the bank and he just robbed the bank and I tackle him and I get his gun away from him and I hand the money and the gun over to a cop who shows up, they're not going to charge me for that? Thank you very much.
Yeah, I mean, you should at least get 10% of the monkey of the pelt.
No, why would you say we're not going to charge anybody who turns in a monkey? I mean, that doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know if you want to deputize people to tranquilize or tackle a monkey.
Right, but get what I'm saying? I mean, obviously, these monkeys belong to somebody. And since they're loose, they're not in the hands of the original monkey owner. So in other words, and they're saying, well, it violated city exotic animal code. But yet, they're loose. The person that had these monkeys and the goat, which we've seen as well too.
Yeah, let's not forget the goat.
Does not have them anymore. You know what I'm saying?
And what do you think the street value for a monkey would be?
Those are expensive animals. Remember we had the deal where the monkey, the truck that had the infected monkeys. Remember that thing? And they said that the monkeys were worth like $20,000 a piece.
Do you think that this would make a good web series if someone went out with a net and a tranquilizer gun? Like, I would watch that. Like, if I knew that it ended up, if I knew that it wasn't, pardon the expression, just a wild goat chase,
yeah, I
would watch a web series where they tried to be a bounty hunter for monkeys.
Like Dog the Bounty Hunter. Like
Dog the Monkey Hunter.
We could be Brad.
Somebody named Cat could do Cat the Monkey Hunter.
Cat the Monkey Hunter. Okay. Now I've got a banger of a number one. Okay, you ready?
Oh, give it to us, Brad.
And now, big finish, Brad's number.
John and I have almost identical number ones. Well, we do have identical number ones. My number one today is the Mike Kehoe speech yesterday. And what Mike Kehoe is saying is we're going to phase out the income tax, but we're going to phase in some new taxes. John, I have some suggestions.
Ooh, I want to hear. What should we tax in Missouri? Now, let me guess. I bet Kehoe didn't think of any of these.
No, he didn't think of any of these, okay? But already we have 3 area representatives. Well, I guess 1 senator and 2 representatives. Maybe we have 2 senators and 1 representative. Actually, we have 2 senators and a county executive who will be giving up his post, which we'll talk about in a minute. But we have 2. I'll start with my first one. Number 1. Ricky Schroeder, a.k.a. Nick Scheuer, is going to put a bill in that he's going to have, matter of fact, he's already put 3 bills in about the Chiefs. He's going to put a 4th bill in about the Chiefs, that the Chiefs trademark is going to be held captive in the state of Missouri. And if the Chiefs move into Kansas, they have to pay a $2 billion ransom to get their trademark back. That's the first part of it. And the second part of it is he's going to charge a 50% tax on anybody living in basements in St. Charles County. So that's what Ricky Schroeder is doing. Okay, you ready for the second one?
Yeah, I do want to hear.
Mike Kehoe has appointed Dave Schatz to a new position. Dave Schatz, who is a former state senator who famously put through the gas tax, which we all love. Once again, Republicans don't like taxes, but yet they seem like they do like taxes. Dave Schatz, who put through the taxes, and then he abandoned ship and became the county executive, or whatever it had, presiding commissioner in Franklin County, because my other buddy decided he's going to move to the city of St. Louis after telling everybody how great Franklin County is. Dave Schatz is going to become the refund czar in the state of Missouri. And what's going to happen is when you're paying these new taxes, like when you pay your new tax that Schatz or that Kehoe is going to assess,
on Netflix,
all you have to do is send in your monthly bill with Netflix showing your tax, and you have to have each bill notarized, and then you'll get a refund on that tax. And matter of fact, what you have to do is not only have to have it notarized, but it has to be personally presented in Jefferson City to to him, and he has got an office down there in Jefferson City, and you have to bring in all your receipts notarized, each, not a bunch of them notarized, but each one singly notarized, and that's
along with your birth certificate too, right?
Or with your birth certificate and your real ID and the latest report on your health, as well as your blood type, certified by your physician. So that's how you get your money back. Okay, you ready for that one, John?
Yeah, that's pretty simple. That's straightforward.
And the number one tax increase is going to be, and this was already filed by Adam Schnelting. Adam Schnelting is going to, if you know what's going on with the new Highway 70, new Interstate 70, they're putting in that third lane, which is going to go all the way from coast to coast, from border to border in the state of Missouri. And the third lane is going to be essentially designated the Adam Schnelting speed lane. And what's going to happen is you're going to pay a fee to get into the Adam Schnelting speed lane. And matter of fact, we're going to call that, it's going to be called the ass lane. Get him Adam Schnelting speed lane. Once you get
love it.
Once you get into the ass lane, if you have paid your fee to the state of Missouri, because there was something just last week, they were talking about moving the speed limit up to 75. Adam Schnelting, if you're in the ass lane, the Adam Schnelting speed lane, you can go 100. And that would, and you'd pay like a use fee. And if you get caught in the ass lane and you don't have your fee that you paid, you get $300 fine, and you get 2 days in jail and 1 day working with Dave Schatz collecting receipts in Jefferson City.
Or excavating and laying down things in the ground. Yeah, I love that plan, Brad. That all seems workable. Think of the new revenue the state's going to get.
Right. They're going to get the Ricky Schroeder tax. We're going to get the $2 billion because the Chiefs. What's the Chiefs if they? By the way, and you know what the Chiefs might said? Hey, Missouri, thanks for doing that because when we move into Kansas, we're not going to be the Chiefs anymore. We've taken too much grief from the Chiefs. We're going to be the Sunflowers. That's right, the Kansas.
Oh, nice delicate flower there. That's intimidating as a team name.
And we're not going to be red anymore. We're going to be black and yellow, or no, we'll be called green and yellow, like the green stem of the sunflower. And
I would say periwinkle and gold.
Periwinkle and
People would love periwinkle. For folks who were following along at the FCC, we've now discussed the ass lane and New Jersey jugs in the show.
And by the way,
and stay tuned, because in C Block we're going to talk about a city in St. Charles County called Hamburg. Brad, they have a new team to replace the Chiefs, the Hamburg Honkers.
By the way,
the Family Arena.
You mentioned the FCC. This is a verbal thing. If you can do your report again, the quarterly report. Remember, I asked you to do that last quarter. Remember, I'm talking about.
Oh wow, yeah, okay, sure.
Okay, that was due the 10th, and the 10th was a Saturday, and I sat in my office for 2 hours trying to file my report. I got through the FCC website on one of the reports. The other, I still have not been able to get to. You either get dumped when you try to go into the FCC site. We have to file all this stuff with the FCC. Or you go through the FCC site, you get into my little page, and you go through about 3 or 4 pages deep. And then when you hit the button to upload your documents, which I'm supposed to file with the FCC, the site crashes. I'm going like, okay, I'm going to get.
I can't believe there's government inefficiency anywhere. It would be like a private radio station not loading its commercials properly, and John had to sing a HotWorks infrared commercial.
Okay.
Hey, you know what? You got 24 hours to compete, Brad. That's my favorite line from HotWorks.
Okay,